Hello, welcome back. If you are watching my second video, thank you. Last time I did a video where I was reviewing the Violet Voss hashtag Holy Grail Pro HD eyeshadow palette that was found in the Boxy Luxe box for the winter. And you know, I said what I said. So I figured since I reviewed something new last time, this time, I don't know why I'm holding this brush, but we're gonna but I'm gonna talk about a get ready with me with all of my favorite things. So come along, children, join us as we embark upon this journey. My face is moisturized and all that already, because you know. So the first step that I use is MAC Prep and Prime, or MAC Fix Plus, whatever you want to call it. I don't know exactly what it does. I just like the way it feels on my skin. A lot of people do. You can get the 3.4 ounce bottle for $27, or you can get the little tiny travel one that's a baby, that's like a 1 ounce bottle for $14. So obviously this is a much better value, but just, I don't know, there's something satisfying. It's very refreshing. Also, it's always good to put primers and stuff on a moist face because it sinks in better, works better. Speaking of which, this has actually become one of my new favorite things. The Tatcha, the Silk Canvas, which is a protective filter finish primer. It is a balm. So you kind of have to, if you look, you kind of have to warm it up a little bit in your hands, and a little bit goes a long way. I try not to use too much because it's really expensive. I got the travel size because I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it. Me and primers have a love-hate relationship. I have really sensitive skin, and sometimes when they put too much stuff in things, and as you can see, I have a lot of redness. So I don't like to do too much that's gonna draw attention to that. However, I like this one because without sinking into the pores, it makes your makeup go on really smooth. And also it's a protective one where it keeps the makeup out of your pores. So you end up not having, you know, little breakouts and things happen. This is $52 for the big one, but like, you don't use a whole lot of it. And if you want to try it like me, you can get the little tiny baby. It's for $20. And that way you're not breaking the bank. I've already addressed my redness. I have rosacea, so it's just something that happens. I have sensitive skin. Like, when I get angry, I'm the worst liar in the world. You can ask anyone, because as soon as I start to tell a lie, my entire face blushes red. And if I have makeup on, it's funny because my chest blushes red, but my makeup's on. But so what I do to correct that, and I love this, it's actually from Sephora collection. It's the Bright Future Concealer. It's a color correcting serum in green. It is green. So this is basically, it's kind of like my third primer. And this is, you know, because you want to start with a blank canvas. And so I apply my war paint because I got to go out and face the world and, you know, go to war and all that. And I have a double chin, and it gets red too. So it gets a little too. All right, believe me, this was a challenging video to do because I knew that I was gonna have to be barefaced to start with, but we all have faces. And I'm using a beauty sponge. It is not a beauty blender. You know, there's some things I'll pay money for and some things I won't. And I use Eco Tools. I find that it works. Well, I say that. I've never tried a beauty blender. So maybe beauty blender is like the key to me having like the most fabulous finished makeup ever. And I'm just going to miss that. But I don't want to pay $20 for one of these things because Eco Tools are much cheaper. And I think do the job. And plus you can't miss what you never tried. So there you go. So if you can see the difference, it just got rid of a little bit of the redness. It's still there. It's something that I live with, you know. But, so my next step is going to be my foundation, which I don't see. Where's my foundation? Larry, will you go get my foundation? I left it in the room, I think. Yeah. So, yeah. It's the Wet n Wild. Where? It's on my thing with my makeup. So while my husband retrieves my foundation, which is Wet n Wild, oh, another thing about the concealer. They have them in regular too, which I sometimes use as well. This is one of their regulars. And they are a natural finish. They're gel. They're not really heavy. It's not like, this is not something I'd recommend you like putting under your eyes or anything. It's not going to hide a whole lot. But they're only 10 bucks. So good deal. Okay. From off camera, oh, and he brought me the new one. Okay, well, I guess I'm opening a new one. It's okay because it's $5.99. Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. I am in love with this. I have a very hard time. Look, I used to work for a brand called Prescriptives. I don't know if maybe somebody out there in the YouTube world has heard of them, but they used to do custom blend foundation. And there's actually been a lot of debate lately on, I'm gonna do my foundation while I'm doing this, obviously, on how you're supposed to match your foundation. And, you know, people are like, oh, well, my skin's rosy, so I need to go with pink undertones, or my body's really tan, so I need to go with orange undertone, or orange mask, you know. But the thing is in Prescriptives, we actually had to learn how to precisely match people's foundation because we did custom blend. And custom blend foundation, we literally would take, and we did powder too, we would literally take colors and mix them together to exactly match a person's skin. Now, the key to that, look at this finish. $5.99, guys. Like, I mean, I've tried so many. But anyway, you always want to match your foundation to the undertone of your skin. And that is what gets people, I think, a lot of times, is if they have a tan, or they, you know, have rosy cheeks like me, or they get real red, they're like, oh, well, I need a porcelain finish or pink, you know, and then it ends up looking gray on them, or they're like, oh, I'm really tan, so I need this tan one, and they end up looking orange. And the reason that is, well, the orange could be oxidation too if you're oily, but if it's not, it's because you matched your overtone of your skin and not your undertone. You want your neck, I know, there's been so much debate on this on YouTube and everything about like what you're supposed to match to. You're supposed to match to your wrist, you're supposed to match to your chest, you're supposed to match to your neck. I am of the school of your neck is the closest thing to your face. So I don't see why you would match to anything but your neck. So if your neck is dark, bronze it up, girl. All right, so that's done. And I mean, the Photo Finish foundation, it's filtering, it's $5.99. And look at it. I mean, really good medium to full coverage. It's a little bit of a matte finish, which I'm one of those weird people, excuse me. I like matte finishes, but I'm incredibly dry. So I have to work with them sometimes. So now I'm gonna do my concealer. And my favorite concealer, I feel like I'm like bargain bin right now, but it's so funny. But I love Shape Tape by Tarte. It's great. It is a little thick for me. So I prefer, because the older we get, the less attention you want drawn to your under eye. You kind of just want it to disappear. So Catrice's Liquid Camouflage is amazing. I watched a Tati Westbrook video lately, the Glam Life Guru, and she said this was one of her holy grails too, and the reason why was because it could erase all of your lies. So, and it's $5.99. So, and you know, when you get drugstore stuff too, like Wet n Wild or Catrice, the thing about that's awesome, is that a lot of times they're like, buy one, get one half off, buy one, get one free, 30% off, which, you know, unless you have a lot of points or something with Ulta or things like that, you're not really gonna get that kind of discount on prestige makeup. So I'm of the mindset that you get it while you can. So the key is to get rid of the dark. And I start with a beauty sponge with this, but I end up using my ring finger. I learned somewhere in one of the, I used to work for Estee Lauder too, and they would send us to schools and show us how to do things. And one thing they always told us was to always use your ring finger under your eye, because apparently that is the finger that you apply the least pressure with, but that could be a lie, I don't know. So concealer is on. I used 2 different powders because I'm just bougie like that. I set my makeup with Bye Bye Pores anti-aging powder. It's translucent. Translucent. It's real silky. It's a micro finish. It's $24, so it's a little pricey, but it looks so good on the skin. And I am using a Morphe E56 brush, which is one of their sable brushes. I just like how it feels on my skin. I mean, I could use a big fluffy powder brush, but this one makes me feel bougie, and that's why I like using it. I just kicked up a cloud of powder. So I'm just gonna kind of go over my face with that lightly. I like this one because it, like it says, it does not settle, because it's so finely milled that it kind of just sits on top of the foundation without caking up or drawing unnecessary attention to pores, lines, all that good stuff. My hair looks crazy. Do I look like a cockatoo? Larry, do I look like a cockatoo?
No, dear.
Okay. I feel like I might look like a cockatoo. Anyway, so that's me setting my foundation. And then for my under eyes, the Bye Bye Pore does not do it. I use the Coty Air Spun. Once again, if you don't have to buy expensive stuff and it works, don't. So this is $5.99, and I found this brush, or excuse me, this sponge actually on Miss A Shop Miss A, which is a $1 makeup brand, which Tati Westbrook Glam Life Guru also helped me discover. And they have a lot of good stuff, you guys, and it's $1. Like, if I want my brows to be more dark, like darker, like a more brown color instead of red, I have their brow gel for $1, and it's as good as any brow gel I've used. And they have really good lip toppers, and this is a baking sponge. Like, the sponge is it's designed to bake. For those of you who don't know what baking is or don't want to do this step, you don't have to. I mean, you do need to set, if you put concealer under your eyes, you need to set it, because the concealer will settle into your creases if you don't. Baking, basically, it's something drag queens have been doing for years. You're basically just letting your powder have time to mix in with the concealer and warm up and really set, and it kind of eliminates any lines and wrinkles. The other good thing that it's good for doing is I always let mine stay on until after I'm done my eyes, because if I have any fallout from my shadow, then I can go back and fix it. So we're done with the basic face. Yay, applause. Now brows, I was doing my brows next. I do them one or two ways. I either use, like I said, that AOA, which I don't have, so I'm not gonna use. But really what I do, I was blessed with good brows, so I'm sorry if you weren't. I know a lot of people take a lot of time to do their brows, but I have a color in the Tarteist Pro, the original Tarteist Pro palette, which, oh my god, still, like, it smells so good. This is such a great palette, but the color Edgy, which is like a warm tone brown, and this perfectly matches my eyebrows. So what I like to do, even though I do have a healthy amount of eyebrows, I still take my brush and kind of outline a little bit with the powder. And I know some people are like, oh my gosh, Jessica, don't put eyeshadow in your eyebrows, it'll fall out. I use a setting spray. Calm down. It'll work. I promise. So, taking a little spoolie brush And I'm just going to kind of blend it in. And you know, the one thing when I used to work in cosmetics that we always used to do to somebody to really, one, increase our sales, but two, really show them the power of makeup was do one brow and not do the other. Because brows are a very important part of your face. It frames your face. So if you don't do it, you don't look finished. Unless you're like a member of the brow club and your brows are just like bushy and crazy. Which is a thing that people like, so. And remember, your brows are swisters. They're sisters, they're not twins. I have tweezed almost my entire eyebrows out before trying to get them because this one has a really good point and this one does not. And I've come to just, you know, accept that my burden in life of having one curvy and one sharp eyebrow. Like a puppy, it gives me character. All right, so there's my brows, done, boom. I'm not big in, like I said, the pencils are great. I like gel. I don't really do pencils that much because pencils take forever. Because you have to like draw it in and then you have to fill it in and you have to spoolie it, and I don't have time for all that because I have to do all this. So brows are done, so now it's time to move on to my eyes. Using the same thing that I used in my last video, the MAC Painterly Pot. It is just so good because one, you guys, I've had this for like a month and it's barely got a dent in it. It's $20, but like I said in my previous video, one, you can use the whole thing before you have to get another one. Two, it's really good. Like, it doesn't dry, because some of the ones in the sticks dry down so fast that you have to rush to put something on, and then it grabs at the pigment, and then you can't blend, and then you cry, and then you have to do your makeup again. It's all very tragic. Okay, eyes primed with my ring finger. All right, so now, a few of my favorite things. Soft Glam by Anastasia Beverly Hill. I adore this palette. It came out earlier this year. I loved Modern Renaissance. Modern Renaissance is a cult classic. It's always going to be on the top of everybody's list. But for me personally, these colors are just better. They better match my skin tone and just what I want out of an eyeshadow palette. I always consider to win if you can use at least half of the colors in the eyeshadow palette. If somebody has an eyeshadow palette that they have used every single color in, please comment and let me know, because I have yet to find one. I've literally kept palettes because of one shade that I just really loved and I couldn't find anywhere else. Thus the hoarding begins. So we are gonna go into Soft Glam with the Morphe G24, which is that big fluffy taper brush that I used last time. And we're gonna go into our transition with Orange Soda, which is kind of like a peachy color. It's really good for transitions. ABH palettes are shadows, rather, are very pigmented. Usually one swipe will do ya. And I'm just gonna window wash kind of higher up because it's not that dark of a color. I mean, that's one swipe, you know? Okay, so let's do that on the other side. I also need to clean my makeup brushes. That's important because it keeps you from, well, one, it keeps from muddying your makeup up, because if you have color from the last time you used shadow on your brush, then you end up having color the next time you use it. You guys, I did not put a base color down. I just went straight in, and that's why it looks so good, because I don't have anything else on. I'm not gonna restart. So, you know what? This video is about being an adult and learning that not everything goes your way, because you forget things because you're old. And, you know, living with it. Learning to work with it, moving on. Okay, so with my Morphe R39, which is also a tapered blending brush, I'm gonna go a little deeper into my crease with the Burnt Orange, which is a color right under Orange Soda. And these are all matte, just so you know. Like I said before, I do not like shimmer above my brow bone. Shimmer settles into your eyes, and as you age, your eyelids become very crepey. And I don't really want to call attention to that. So that's with a little bit of burnt orange. Just deepening it up a little bit. And I like Soft Glam because you can do a whole look with just it, or you can use just one shadow, but they all really go together. Like, you could use all of these shadows in one look. I might actually do that one day. Like, try to use my whole palette. I don't know, I'd probably end up just looking brown. Okay, so that's with burnt orange. So now I'm gonna go in with the MAC 213 brush, which is a paddle brush, but it's a little fluffier than the 242. So, oh, and by the way, the palette is $42. It's prestige. It's going to be a little bit more expensive. However, I don't think it's out of reach for anybody. It's not a super expensive palette, you know, because there are brands that have $65 palettes and all that. And I mean, the Tatcha Denona is like $135. So I'm going to go in with this color Dusty Rose, which is a kind of cool tone taupe. I know it doesn't seem like it naturally would go with these other colors, but it really does. So I'm just going to actually go over my entire eyelid with this color. Beautiful Dusty Rose. Sometimes I sing to myself. I apologize if it offends you. Okay, so that's my lid color. And then I'm going to go back in with my, ooh, no I'm not, because that's got makeup all over it. My It brush, that was the blending brush. I believe these are part of their airbrush series. I don't, like I said, it doesn't have a number on it, just says It. So It brushes are sold at Ulta, so just go ask for It brushes. I'm gonna go in with this color Sienna, which is a very warm tone brown, almost red. And I'm going to go to the outside. I'm not gonna go past the outside of my eye. So like, I'm never going past the middle point of my eye when I do this. And all I'm doing is kind of smoking it out and doing that little mini windshield wiper move, just to kind of darken it up a little bit. Color's not wanting to cooperate with me that much. It thinks I cheated on it with violet balls. There we go. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Remember, like I said last time, whatever your eye shape is, in order to make your eye look bigger, you always want things closest to your nose to be lighter. That's why when people contour their face, all the light is right here, because it centers your eyes to the middle of your face, which thins your face, but also makes everything else, you know, stand out. That's the science behind that. So that's with Sienna. I'm actually gonna take that carroty brush that I told you about the other day. Maybe, if I can find it. Too many brushes, it's a problem. I can't find it, but I do have a slanted eyeshadow brush, so I can just use that. Well, oh, there it is, it was hiding. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in with that burnt orange color that I did in my transition, the second shade, and I'm gonna go right under my eyes. Just about halfway. Like I said, this is a bunch of my favorite things, so this is also the way I do my eyes the most. Don't worry, I use other colors, and that will come. If you guys have suggestions as to eye looks that you would like me to do, or try, or products that I would like to try, I would love to do it. I'm gonna go in with the Morphe G18, which is the pointier version of the taper brush. And I'm gonna go into the color Mulberry, which is a dark burgundy color. And I'm literally just gonna put this in the very corner of my eye. Like, I'm basically making a little arrow where I'm going up into my brow bone, tapering down to the corner of my eye, and then out to like almost the middle of my eye. So it's almost like an arrow. Going, look how big my eyes are. Yeah. Let's see. Do the same thing on the side, just make an arrow. And you know what, guys, if this is too many steps for people, I totally get it. Like, I just wanted to show you my favorite things, and if you're gonna invest in a palette, it's one of those things that's, you know, I'm gonna use it. So, but you could totally pull off 2 eyeshadows on this. Like, just do a color on your lid and a color on your brow, and that would be it. And it would look fine. I mean, and you know, that's the thing about makeup that I love, that it's for each his own. You know, if you want to be full glam, full lashes, editorial, you can do that, and you can own it, and you can wear it proud. Or if you want to throw some mascara and some lip gloss on and go out the door, that's part of my resolution for 2019, is being comfortable in my own skin. And I think that's why I started this channel, like I said, because I am forcing myself out of my comfort zone. So anyway, back to what I was doing. I'm going to take the color Rose Pink, which is right here, and you can tell has been used quite a bit. And that color I'm going to press with the 242, the MAC 242, right in the center of my eye. And the reason I'm doing this is because it is a very close, ooh, fallout. That's why you don't wipe your bake off. Because it brightens up the middle of your eye, but it's kind of the same tone as that dusty pink that I put down as a base. See, I forgot to tap my brush the first time, and as you can see, we're experiencing a mass amount of fallout. Okay. All right, so let me clean that up, because that is atrocious. When you clean up stuff, you want to use like the featheriest brush you have, and like a light brush, because if you pull it too much, then you're just gonna get streaks. But if you have like a really, this is one of those, I don't know what they're called. It's a prescriptive brush, which is really old, but it's real, so it lasts forever. But it's not very densely bristled. Okay. All right. So the last little step that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this color called Fairy, and I'm gonna use my pinky. I know I said ring finger before, but I have chubby little hands, and, well, they're not little, but my finger doesn't fit there, and my little finger does, so. And see, that just brightened the whole thing up. Just a little bit. I mean, see what a difference that is? So that is the look. I'm gonna do like a shout out too, because it is one of my favorite things. I have multiples of these. The Huda Beauty Obsessions, which are the little ones. If you don't want to spend $65 for one of her palettes, although Desert Dusk is one of my favorite palettes, these little guys are great because they give you a whole color scheme. I don't know if you could create a look with just them. I might try, but they're very specific. Like there's an amethyst one, there's a topaz, there's a ruby. This is the Gemstone Obsession, so these are all very heavily metallic colors. And they don't have names, but this color right here is a color that I like to take and just put right in the very corner of my eye. It's just one of those colors that shifts and changes the color of everything else you're wearing and makes it interesting. Also, it brightens up right in the corner of your eye. So yeah, so that would be the only other thing I would use. And then for liner today, I'm gonna use Sephora, which Sephora's contour eye pencils. They're 24-hour wear. They're amazing and they're $10. Eyeliner is one of those things I really, like I said on my last video, if you watched it, I love Stila. But if you don't want to pay $20 for an eyeliner, Stila has a really good one. NYX Cosmetics is drugstore and it's like $7.49, so you can use that too. So this is, what color is this? I'm trying to look at my notes. Love Affair, and it is a purpley color, which will kind of go. And what I like to do is almost the same thing that I did with the eyeshadow, where you're kind of making a triangle or an arrow, and the arrow goes down under your eye too. See? Do that on the other side. I'm almost done, Larry. He doesn't approve of the length of these videos. And maybe you guys don't too. Comment below, let me know. But it is a get ready with me, so it's gonna be a little longer because that's how long it takes me to do my makeup. And I'm talking, so I get distracted. All right, so eyeliner's done, and I'm gonna use huge Stila mascara again. No, I'm not yet. I'm gonna wipe my bake off because I'm done with my eyeshadow. And I don't want to be white under my eyes, so I'm taking that sable brush that I did my powder with, and I'm just running it under my eyes to get rid of any excess powder, and so I don't look like white under my eyes. And sometimes I forget and walk out of the house and look crazy. All right, and now I'm putting mascara on. A good trick for mascara, I don't know if anybody really cares about tricks for mascara, but if you start at the base of your lashes and curl the brush as you're going up, it actually clings a lot better to your, you can actually feel it, the bristles cling to your eyelashes, and that gets you a lot more payoff. I do not like spider eyelashes. They look okay on some people. They do not look okay on me. Well, I mean, like I said, personal preference. Everybody's got their shade of purple they like. Other eye. Dead space, quiet time. Bad for YouTube. Man, I love this mascara so much. And the holidays, Sephora had this with the liquid liner, which is my favorite, in a duo, full size. And they had them on clearance for $17. This mascara is $23. So you better bet I snatched up a few of them. Okay, so now we come to the rest of the face. I'm almost done. We've got one more thing. Well, a couple more things, but now I'm gonna contour. I don't like to call it contouring. It's kind of just, well, it is contouring. Bronzer is not my friend. Bronzer turns very orange on me. So this is the Sephora collection. I'm like sponsoring by Sephora collection. Contour Kit. I like it because it has some of the cooler toned browns as well, which I find personally work better with my face. This is a smoothing face brush by Bare Minerals. And I'm gonna go in this middle shade, which is the cooler one, and just kind of swirl a little bit. A little dabble, do ya? And then what you want to do is you start right around your ear and just come down naturally where your face lines up. Oh, why did it do that? Why are you betraying me on film? Do you see that? What is that? Why is it doing that? Okay, well, e.l.f. makes this brush. It's awesome. It's tiny. It's also perfect for contouring because it's exactly the size that you want it to be. And I'm just gonna go back with that because for some reason it left like a strange line. I don't know why I did that. I can't make it go away right now. So we're gonna ignore it and move on. So I'm gonna dip. I'm gonna use the e.l.f. brush. I think part of the problem is they use that other brush. You just go right where your ear goes and just go down. I like this brush because literally it's the exact shape and size that you want. And you always want to contour out to your ear because you don't want like this weird white spot. And you go down in the hollows. Oh, that looks so awful. What have I done? Okay, well, don't follow my instructions on this because obviously I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, fun. And then I just take one of the lighter shades, this shade right here, and I'm going in. I also really like Physician Formula's Butter Bronzer. I will use that as a contour as well. Probably should since this one doesn't like me anymore. And then just go around the face, darken that up a little bit. All right, so then after that, I love this. And I looked online today and that contour kit was $20. They don't have this anymore. I don't know if it's sold out and coming back or if it was like a limited edition, but Tarte came out with a blush book and it is fantastic. It is 8 full-size blushes and 2 highlights. I tend to stay on this side because you will find out by watching this channel that I don't like glitter on my face. Glitter belongs right here and that's about it. I can't deal with glitter. This is a Crown brush and it's their blush brush. I like it because it's not dense. I don't like to go overboard with the blush. I'm gonna go into this color called Spirit Fingers, which is a kind of petal pink. It's very pretty. And just right on the apples of my cheeks, and then just pull it back. Like that. And I love Tarte. I love their eyeshadows. I love the blushes. I've never tried their foundations, but maybe I should. But I'm kind of happy with my $5.99 foundation. Okay, now I'm going to use a Morphe R6, which is a blunt brush. And I'm going to do what's called veiling. And basically what that is where you go over where you've just gone with your blush and your contour or your bronzer or whatever. And you're basically just blending it out. Because the whole point is to not see a definitive, you know, we're not in the 80s. You don't want like the streak of blush. You're trying to make everything look like, oh, I just got out of bed and look like this. That's crazy. So, do that. Do some of that. All right. And our second to last step. I love this. This is a recent find too. I don't use a whole lot of Too Faced, but this Diamond Fire Diamond Highlighter, oh my God. You guys, first of all, look at the size of this thing. It's beautiful. It's $34, but here's why I love it. The reason I love this is because it is not glittery at all. Like, it has this multi-dimension. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but like if you turn it one way, it's kind of violet. If you turn it another way, it's green. It has some yellow and some pink, and I just like using my Wet n Wild Unicorn brush. That was $1. And I go, now with highlight, you don't want to go past the middle of your eyes. Does that make sense? Because highlight is also going to highlight. So if you have larger pores near your nose, which most people do, if you get too far in towards your nose, it's going to show, it's going to be like, hello, pores. So you want to always stay on the outside of your eye, right on top of your cheek. But look at that. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it because I can't see myself. We're gonna have to come up with a different setup. But so you just put that right there, and it gives you that like, ooh, does she have something on? Does she not have something on? Why is it so pretty? Like, it kind of makes you look like an angel, if I do say so myself. And then I like to hit the tip of my nose, top of my mouth, and my chin. Now, if you don't want to spend $34, if you're like Jessica, $34 for a highlighter is ridiculous. Which it is high. I mean, because Anna Reezy's only $28. This is a really good dupe for it. It is the Essence Pure Nude Spice Lighter. It is kind of that same concept. It's got the multi-dimension without having the sparkle. This comes off a little whiter though, and it's a little chalkier because it's like $12. So, all right, so my second to last step is I'm going to use the only lipstick that I use for the most part, is Jeffree Star's Velour Liquid Lipstick. I love them. They're $18. His eyeshadow palettes are a little pricey, but lipstick wise, 18 bucks. And it doesn't go anywhere all day, I'll take it. So this is Calabasas, which is one of their best-selling colors because it's just a really nice, warmish pink. And you don't have to put a whole lot on. After I said that, I just messed up my lipstick. Well, we'll fix it. Okay, like that. Oh, and one last trick I wanted to show you. So if you really want to make your eyes pop, like you're going somewhere special or you know, you just feel like it, what you can do is take a white eyeliner. I have a retractable one from NYX right here. It's just white. And you just go right in your waterline with the white. And I know you're not supposed to pull down your eyes like that, but look at the difference. It really does make your eye pop and come forward. So if you are feeling adventurous and want to do that. Some people line their eyes with dark. You can do that too. That's a totally different look. That's more smoky. This is more natural. But last step is going to be my all-nighter pollution protection spray. I like this one. I don't know if it actually is any different than the original, but I like the fact that it says it protects me from pollution. And I have a thing with smells that it doesn't smell bad, which is nice. And just an honorable mention, this is also one of my favorite things. The Collab, which is the makeup brand that Sally's Beauty sells. They actually collabed with a bunch of different influencers to make the line. Their makeup is fantastic, but this is like my ride or die. Like this comes with me everywhere. It's the micellar cleansing water. I have super sensitive skin. It doesn't smell like anything. It doesn't have like any extra added stuff in it. Like the ingredient list is super short, and it takes all your makeup off. Like I will use a makeup wash and then I can go back with this and get like 3 more pads full of makeup off. But if I just use this, it comes off in like 2 seconds flat. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will link in the description box all the products that I used today with their prices. And every single one of them, I think for the most part, you can buy at Sephora or Ulta or on Jeffree Star's website. Or the drugstore. So thank you guys so much. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you Kenny Jane for coming over, and I appreciate that. Also check out my friend Pamela Ebert. She is doing a giveaway all month. Every day is a new giveaway. So check her out, tell her you came from me, and she'll give you an extra entry, and she's a wonderful human being. So thank you, and until next time, bye.